Guys, UnoPro here, back again for another Songhai live gameplay. I know it's been quite a long time since I've made one of these. I do apologise, I've been really busy, stuff with the patch, figuring out all these kind of factors. But I'm back into the swing of things. Played for about a day and a half, got back to rank 2, and started a new season. Definitely going to be playing a lot more, and going back to those regular kind of videos. So without further ado, let's get into the deck list. I'm just going to quickly get rid of my webcam so you can see the full deck list, and we'll have a look. So we have the two Dream Gazers. Dream Gazer is a very strong card, especially in this meta where you want those early drops, but you don't want to, always have to commit a card to it. Dream Gazer is very good for that. Though I do agree with 2, just because late game, it's the card you top deck after you replace it's very, very weak, and you can have some really awkward turns with it. But in general, it's a pretty strong card, and it's definitely a card that's going to get a lot more popularity. So early game, 3 Jaxi, 3 Phoenix Fire, 3 Primus, 3 Tuskbore. Pretty simple stuff, very aggressive, very high value for the cost. We don't need the healing mystics anymore. The meta's slow down heaps, we don't really need healing at all. And it's not something I'm too worried about. 2 Killing Edge. Killing Edge is a really strong card in minion based decks, but I've been kind of surprised with how little I've used it. I don't think I would get to that point of cutting it, but it has surprised me. And I think part of that is just how consistent our hands are in the early game. You're always getting those Lantern Foxes, those Tuskbores with the 5-card mulligan rule, and it just, there's always a better play early game all the time. But late game it can be pretty solid. It really does depend. So 3 Lantern Fox, of course. For the draw engine of our deck, I'm actually using 2 Mogwai. Now, this deck started as a variation of Scientist deck, but first thing I did was actually add Mogwais, and he's going for Spelljammer kind of thing. Now I really like Mogwai because it allows us to play really hard for ball control. We don't have to worry about stuff like Spiral Technique, which you can sit in your hand, because we don't need that burst damage. We can kill our opponents without it. We can get ball control, and then once we have ball control, Mogwai can punish that super hard. It can be a tiny bit awkward against Songhai with Tuskbore and Phoenix Fire, but it honestly hasn't been a problem. There's just not enough cards in hand that people are always going to have that removal, and we have tons of targets for that kind of thing in the deck anyway. So onto some more interesting choices that have really changed the way Songhai's played compared to those old minion-based aggro lists of the past. So 3 Onyx Bear Seal. This card is absolutely fantastic. I cannot stress how good this card is. It's actually to the point where I've thought about adding Alcuins just to get this card back. 3 mana. The Pando is not even that big of a problem now. We don't run any backstab minions, so you don't have to worry about that permanent back control. And it synergizes really well with Twin Strike. And Twin Strike isn't really a card you need, to have the best conditions for it to be good. It really just needs to be available because it cycles itself. It's always going to be a valuable card if you can afford to play it. And sometimes Pando really gives you that target you need. Very, very strong card. It allows for some really powerful late game turns where they play an Archon and you Onyx Bear Seal play a Hammond, and that can be a massive game changer. Okay, so 3 Lightbender. Now, the reason for 3 Lightbender, one, it has some minus energy with Hammond, but that's not why we play it. It's very good meta, in a Vitruvian meta, where we just always want to have Dispel. It can absolutely destroy Vitruvian, and I think Vitruvian and Songhai are the 2 best decks. I think Magmar is okay, but I think the Magmar matchup is still very good, especially with cards like Mogwai. Anyway, onto the late game. 3 Hammond and 3 Archon Spellbinder. Now, if you understand we're going for a mid-range deck, there's not a lot to talk about with the Spellbinder, but I do want to take a second to talk about Blade Seeker. Now, this is a card I've always liked more than the average Songhai player. But it's not something that many people run at all. 8/8 is really, really hard to deal with, and there's not a lot of hard removal in the meta. Something like Egg Morph can be played around pretty well with Mist Dragon Seal. Onyx Bear Seal, obviously deals with it decently, but it's still an 8/8, and most classes will only have 1 or so answers to it. We don't really care about the health too much in this meta. Obviously, at times it can be a problem, and in the Songhai matchup, it's a little bit awkward. But for the most part, with the 1 mana Mist Dragon Seal, good chance we can get a hit on it. And if you're taking 2 damage, as long as you're not dying that turn, that 8 damage is going to be a massive swing. And then, as I said, 3 Archon is very, very strong. So, I'll get the webcam back up. And I'm actually trying out having the deck list on the side of the screen this time. So we will go find a game. So yeah, let us know what you think about the layout for this. It might seem a little bit cluttered, I'm not too sure. I tried the bigger deck list, it didn't fit too well, but if you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, tell me and I'll get rid of it. So, matchups for this deck, let's talk a bit about matchups. Vitruvian is very, very good. We're very tech to beat them. Tuskballs are very, very good in that matchup. Just got to play around Star's Fury, stuff like that, and you should be very fine. We have 6 answers to a Mario Healer in our deck, which is normally how Vitruvian can win. And Lightbender is just MVP against any Dervish deck especially, but any Vitruvian deck. Sometimes the more mid-rangey ones can be a little bit awkward just because, they're playing high-value threats and sometimes we can't keep up. But once we get early board control, then we should be in good shape. So, this is taking a while to load here. I do apologise for that. I have no idea why. I do hope this is going to work. Okay guys, I do apologise. I am going to close out the game, see if I can get back in time. Otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen. You might be able to get back in time. Hasn't happened to me before. Normally it just loads pretty quick, or if it waits, a second after. Oh well, we'll see if we can get back in. Come on, hopefully. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Is it going to give us a loss? Oh, come on, how can it give me a loss for that? Ah, ripped off. Ripped off, I could have played it out. Alright, hopefully this one will be a bit faster. Come on! I'm definitely going to drop in rank. I don't know why this is happening. Oh, we're in. Okay. I thought I was going to have to cancel the recording now. I could not be bothered explaining that deck list again. Alright. Can only talk for so much. Really like this. Obviously, this is what you're always looking for Songhai. We have a turn 1 play because Tuskball is decent if you have nothing else. Hammond is... it's okay. If I had no 3-drop and 2-drops, I might consider keeping Hammond because it might mean I can protect him, side Manatile and ramp into it. But with the Lantern Fox, I want to go 2 and 3 turn after. So I think that's an important distinction to make. When you have 2, 2, 3, you don't really want to keep a 5-drop because you don't want to ramp into it. You want to take those both Manatiles the next turn. I think I will get rid of Mist Dragon Seal. Unlikely I'm going to have much of a use for it. Okay. So the double Hammond is a tiny bit awkward, but that's fine. It actually can curve out nicely depending. Maybe we could consider something greedy, like going for it. If he plays here, I really like that actually. We can give him 2 cards, but we can actually tempo out really hard, which I do like. So we can actually almost ramp into 5. So I'm actually going to keep everything here. Could get rid of Phoenix Fire. What could he have that I want a Phoenix Fire? The Death Watch guy. I mean, it's not that relevant next turn, but still, let's keep it. I don't like getting rid of Foxfire. What am I calling it? So there is a couple plays here. There's definitely more than one play. We could go Tuskball here and play Land Fox there. Protects our Tuskball, but I think we just want to ramp into 5, and we're only giving him 1 card off this, which is really nice. Where would I like this Tusk War to be? Here or here? Like, that's the only decision, but is it relevant? I guess it stops him going central, which is just a slight thing. Yeah. And we can block off the Minotaur. So it's going to be very hard for him to stop us taking this next turn, and we can go Hammond. And Hammond is pretty decent against Abyssian. I don't think many decks are running, you know, Demonic Law anymore, which is the main punishment to Hammond, if you can call it that, with Mist Dragon in the deck. And Ritual Banishing, you know, unless there's a Sarlacc on the board, I don't really care about it. Okay, so nothing's changed in the fact that Nightsoul is still a very good answer to Latin Fox, but we still get to ramp into 5 and play Hammond, which I do like. We'll get rid of the Jaxi. It's a little bit low impact at this point. So there's considerations with stuff like, you know, Killing Edge, Phoenix Fire, but I don't think that's very strong. And I do want this right in his face. Does this make a difference? What could it possibly? Is there anything I'm playing around by doing it this way? Grasp of Agony kind of stuff. Let's just do this. I mean, I don't think it matters, but I mean, you could probably make an argument. It's an interesting argument because it's easier to block off this way. Well, is it easy? Is it even easier? I guess if he wants to block off, then he runs into the corner more, which is probably good for me. It is actually pretty similar levels of blocking. But yeah, he would have to run into the corner. Is that tiny possible chance, you know, worth playing around Grasp of Agony a little bit? I'm not sure. I don't think it's very clear. Could have considered not attacking with Primus, but then I'd have to like keep it here and keep it out of range of this for it to mean anything. But with Killing Edge, it is relevant because you can trade this in. So maybe I should have done that. Probably was there more to think about that turn. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. That's fine. So is he going to trade this in? Yeah, I don't mind that. Okay, let's go with Killing Edge. Tuskball would have been lovely. I would love to just play another Hammond here. Like, I can Phoenix Fire, Jaxi, but that seems a bit weak. I don't really... I kind of just want to go for Broke at this point. I'm happy to leave this a little bit out of the fray. I don't want this to die for free to the Healing Mystic. And I do have 3 Mist Dragon Seals in my deck. So we are, you know, a little bit of risk of getting kited, but 8 damage is a ton. And he's going to have to find an answer for that, I'd imagine. It's high risk, fairly high reward. Okay, Bone Reaper's a bit annoying. A tiny bit. What will we do with this? Right, so I love a Bear Seal or something right now to just get rid of this. And I really want to hit him with this at some point. But we're also doing pretty good on the value game as well, so let's get rid of Jaxi. I think there we go, there's the Bear Seal. You know, just all those Songhai top decking skills are starting to come into play. And we are definitely going to play Jaxi. Hit him for 8, which is awesome. Seems weak to grass, but it does block damage. Is there anything we die to? I mean, technically, like double Saber Spine Void Pulse. Like double Grasp is the only thing I'm scared of here, right? Seems very unlikely. But it could serve as a general hit. Alright, if he has double grass, congratulations to him. We should not even out of the game then. I just don't want to take any unnecessary damage. I don't want to die. Because I feel like I'm in a pretty strong position here. Oh no, he's running Demonic Law. I wonder if we'll actually have to Phoenix Fire that at some point. Okay, so as I said, that is the card that punishes Hammond the most, just by looking at it. You can kind of see that, but we can Phoenix Fire it if things get bad. Oh god. Alright, I think this was the punish. Like, I was in a really strong position. I don't think there's much they can do a lot better. I think I need to get rid of the Archon here. I don't think I can afford to play it. I really don't want to. Game, why you make me do this? I'm gonna have to Phoenix Fire this. There's no other way around it, is there? That is very, very sad. How much damage do I have? 3, 6, 8, 11. Not enough. I cry every time. We can't even block off an attack, so actually, pretty decent chance we die here. Do I buff the Tusk Ball or the... Tusk Ball or the Mini Jacks? Tusk Ball. I think we just need that. I could actually not attack here. It was very risky though. Alright, so that was very unfortunate. There's quite a few top decks that could win the game. I don't think we played it too badly. Okay. I don't know, maybe like it was all in to go for that second Hammond, but I think he just kind of had, you know, everything. Demonic Law, Spectral Blade to punish, like, that was really good then. And then the Void Pulse on top of that? Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe we could have played it more patient, but I don't think the Hammonds were really that big a liability. I think that's just, you know, confirmation bias. I do want to get rid of Archon. Killing Edge is really good against... This is the same guy, right? I think it's the same guy. Yeah, same guy. So, we will have to keep it in mind around Night Sorrow. We didn't see any big minions. It looks more like a Shadow Nova, so I'll keep this. Okay, okay. I would have preferred double 2-drop. Should I get rid of Mogwai? And a different 2-drop probably would be better here. And then we can just Phoenix Fire and play 2-drop. So where do we want Lantern Fox? Do we stick it here and say he doesn't have Night Sorrow? Do we stick it here? If we stick it here, he needs a 2-drop and Night Sorrow. What do we see out of him? Do we see Jaxies? Actually, I don't know if we did see Jaxies. We saw... Did we see much? I don't know. We do have to play around it. We have to play around at least just a single Night Sorrow. If he has 2-drop into that, that's a bit annoying, but you know, we still have some possible tempo plays. And as I always say, Night Sorrow killing a Lantern Fox, well, I probably didn't say that as much this patch, but last patch I used to always say that it doesn't really matter if your Lantern Fox dies to Night Sorrow. It's a 3 mana for 3 mana trade. When it's a problem is when your general wants to be doing something else other than killing the 2-1, because, you know, who cares about killing a 2-1 or 3-1? It's just a little bit of damage, and it's not really something you care about that much. But, yeah. Okay. Let's do this first. Okay, so once again, I can avoid giving his... I can just give this one card and deal with it. Just play another Land Fox. Land Fox. Trade in. 2 Land Foxes seems good. It's decent. If he has a Night Star, I'm sure he'll play it now, but don't think it's the end of the world. So we have Bear Seal, it's nice. Killing Edge is good with Tusk Ball. I mean, not with Tusk Ball. Well, it is decent, but with Lantern Fox, really nice. Okay, that's fine. Completely fine. Like, something like this isn't even good value. It's just like giving up a card, especially in the new patch. I don't really care. They just die for free. It's just throwing away a card almost. And Killing Edge makes them still relevant bodies. Get rid of a Bear Seal. We haven't seen any big minions from his deck. Tusk Ball. Not the worst, not the worst. Not the best. Alright. So we can trade. Right. Trade. How do we want to use this Killing Edge? We can use it on this one, but then it just dies pretty easily. I think I want this, you know, the attack to do something more. So let's do it this way. I want the 3-1 to live. So we can play it like this. Kill the Dispel. The Dispeller. I could Killing Edge this. It is playing like less all in, but it will die to the Healing Mystic, which is a problem. I think it's fine to have a minion like this size against. Right in the center seems fine. I don't want to run away from it easily. I could trade there, but I don't think there's a need to. Archon, that's a nice draw. That's definitely a nice draw. So everything's really nice and protected here. We have a decent sized board. It's alright. Yeah, that's fine. That might mean Archon lives, which is massive. Okay. I think I will get rid of Killing Edge. Not really what I wanted to see. Do we trade in here? I think we do. Not the worst trade in the world, and stick an Archon in his face. Pray he doesn't have another one, but you know, it's going to use up his whole turn if he does. Hammond's nice as well. Hopefully he doesn't go, but you know, knowing he has Demonic Law. He had another one. Alright, I'm going to take this as a hopeful sign that he didn't have. I think I'm going to hit first actually. Is there any way I'm not hitting here? I don't think so. Do I want to be here? I always like to be central. Let's do that. Alright, so once again we're getting low, which is always a little bit worrying. Alright, that's cool. Please no demonic law. Please no demonic law. And he got it. He got it. Feels bad. Feels bad. We can actually light bend it. I don't know if that's what we want to be doing. Man, that was just such a strong turn. Let's go to this. I really hate light bendering this, but do I want him to be near me? Do I even want to attack you? Okay, let's play around with Shadow Nova and do this. He might still do it anyway. We do need a Mist Dragon though. But, you know, this is a pretty big threat. Like, obviously it's annoying that he teleports it away, but it's always going to be that 8 damage as soon as I draw a Mist Dragon. I'm not sure. These games haven't been going very well. I don't know if I'm playing bad or what's going wrong. I don't want to take that damage. Let's leave Mogwai here. Let's just play around Shadow Nova heaps. We do have to get rid of that. It's too much of a threat. He can kill here, that's fine. Mogwai is a nice draw there. I really like Mogwai. He doesn't have a lot that can deal with it. Oh. It's been a toughie. We haven't really had the tools to rush him down, I don't think. Like, I don't think there's any point where I could have been like, you know, just rush him down and it would have been anything remotely good. Is he going in range of the 8-7? Maybe he has an answer. Mogwai is definitely a good draw though. Without doubt. Man, his deck seems very greedy. Okay, we're not out of it yet. Let's draw something good. It's not bad. Let's get rid of this. Can't get in range with the light bender. I mean, it feels bad, but it's hard for him to damage a general anyway. This is times where I wish I had Spiral in my deck. But I found I was never using Spiral at all. Shadow Nova time. We can Lightbender it. I'm really surprised he's playing a Shadow Creep deck during this meta. What to? Okay, a teleport would be really nice. Just so he can Lightbender. I really hope he's not running healing as well. I think I just jinxed myself. Okay, alright. Mogwai's still alive though. That's our Mogwai's our win. 3 damage a turn though. We haven't seen any Mist Dragons since the start of the game. Alright, that's nice, that's nice. Alright, let's get one of these. Oh. I don't think I can play this, right? I wish I could, but I have to wait till... If I don't have a Mist Dragon in hand, I can't. I can wait to play these two in the same turn, which is nice. Alright. Mogwai needs to live, and he needs to not do anything, you know, too scary. Double Shadow Nova. I'm basically dead too, even if I had to spell it. Yeah, I don't know if it'll even be worth dispelling at that point. There's no healing in this deck, which is maybe a problem. I don't know. Primus Fist is just so good. Jaxie's so good. I don't know what I'd cut. So it begins. So it begins. Not another demonical. I think we're done for, guys. Why you gotta do this to us? There's no point actually dispelling much. Doesn't do anything, and we died at Hammond, so... It's been a very frustrating video. I don't know if this is just a bad matchup, or if I'm playing it wrong, or... I'm not sure. Just those tempo swings have been massive. Let me think. I'm not sure. Alright. Hopefully we don't get matched up against him, but... I really don't know. I hate, you know, having an only lost video. I don't know if I can count the disconnect though. That was pretty brutal. How often am I dispelling against a Magmar? Silthers, which aren't that important. I guess it's stuff like Sojourner and like Flash Reincarnate stuff, so we'll keep it. I think it's slightly better than Hammond. Okay, nice start. We got every early game card we want apart from Land Fox. Double Twin Strike's a bit awkward. Alright, let's get a win. Let's get a win. I was actually climbing really well with this deck at times. I think it's a very strong deck, though. Maybe it's weak to Shadow Creep Abyssian. I think we just don't have enough bursts. This is not a bursty deck whatsoever. Okay. I don't really like that play. Let's get rid of Twin Strike. So we can like do Tusk Ball, Primus this. But is there any need to? We can just go double. No, we kinda need to. No, we don't need to. Oh, I should have moved this here. That was a mistake. I need to not rush. Okay. We'll go for this play then. We are going to... This is, you know, probably a bit more aggressive than I'd like to go, but... Yeah, I should have brought this up. I was momentarily greedy. Because then I kind of go like Tusk Ball here, or Tusk... Maybe it doesn't matter actually, maybe this is better. I could have gone this one and done it, and then... I don't know. I don't know. This probably is a way we could have done that better, that we could have blocked off the mana tile as well. But I don't know if I care about that actually. I don't think... If he just plays like a veteran Silthar or something, I don't really care. It's a very strong board. And that's why this Songhai deck is so strong now. Because Songhai has the best early game minions. It has Lantern Fox and Tusk Ball, end of story, basically. And now we have 5 cards in our hand. I feel like every game I have a Tusk Ball, every game I have a Land Fox almost. Chucking Jaxies, Primus Fist, Dreamgazers, you get some pretty insane starts, and you know, decks like Magmar can't really keep up with that. Flash Reincarnation Spirit Harvester would be pretty annoying though. Okay, Veteran Sultan, not a problem. Well, it's annoying, but let's give it a Twin Strike. I don't think he's likely to have. That's pretty strong. How to use it though? Maybe it's not that good this time. Maybe carry this one. Because I gave the buff to this, it's a bit awkward with damage wise. I could just Live Ender. Doesn't seem very good. Alright, we'll do this. Put the Tusk Ball in range. Actually, let's go for the more value play. I was thinking of Killing Edge, but I think this is just better value. Yeah, this is definitely better value. So, you know, a Flash Reincarnation Mercantor is a bit annoying on this against this board, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. We'll still have a Killing Edge target, we'll still have Tusk Ball follow up, and if he doesn't, well, I think we're in very good shape. And I think this is why Songhai is a pretty good matchup against Magmar still. We just have so much early game power. And Magmar can't really afford to have those, you know, Flash Reincarnation Mercantor tones all the time, because the card disadvantage is real. There is a real cost to Flash and Reincarnation now and other 0-mana spells. Okay, it looks like that's probably what he's going for. Which, well, maybe not. But it doesn't really bother me. Like, it sucks. We would probably win the game otherwise, but we're still in a very strong position. He has to use his mana awkwardly. He's down to 2 cards. I think I will get rid of the Light Bender. It's a nice draw. Okay, we are going to start playing around Frenzy a bit harder. Obviously these two are always going to be Frenzy range together. Could have maybe kept it here actually to play around Dancing Blades. Maybe that's better. Ah, the one Magmar who plays Dancing Blades. Nah, not the one. I swear the moment I say a card I should have played around it. It always happens. It always happens. I think we just slam the Archon here. I don't want to get Egg Morphed. Or Metamorphosed. There's no need to rush. And your opponent's still going to go crazy trying to remove it because Mist Dragon is such a massive threat. I'm really glad we have 1 mana Mist Dragon Sealback. Okay. Not a problem at all. And that will be lethal. By a fair bit. Alright guys, so you saw me get my ass handed to me by Shadow Creep Abyssian for 2. You saw the game hand its ass to me. That's not the right expression. My ass handed to me by the game when I disconnected at the start. But finally got a win against Magmar. Something I've done a lot of as Songhai over the few months, you know. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed. Once again, let us know if you like the deck list on the side. I can maybe try and fiddle around with the sizes, but I'm pretty terrible with this kind of stuff, to be honest. Just proud of myself getting a video online. So if you want to see more of this, I'm definitely going to get back in the swing of things, uploading more and more. Also doing some more, card talk strategies, discussion kind of things, hopefully. So if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.